Virgo, there's a reason you're still sleeping alone. And it's not loneliness. It's a summons. I need you to hear this, not with your ears, but with the part of you that's been feeling things before they make sense. That deep, quiet place inside of you that's been stirring at night, waking you up for no reason, especially around 3 a.m. Yeah, that time keeps coming up, doesn't it? You've probably shrugged it off, thought it was just stress or a weird dream, but you're not imagining things. Something has been watching, not in a creepy way, in a calling kind of way. And if you're honest with yourself, you've felt it, that chill on the back of your neck, that moment when the room feels too quiet, that flash of clarity that disappears before you can explain it. It's happening to Virgo women all over the world right now, and no one's talking about it. Why? Because it doesn't fit into logic, because it challenges everything we've been taught. But you're not here for logic, you're here for truth. And the truth is, this isn't just another phase in your life. It's an activation, a preparation. You are being pulled into something sacred, and only a few are chosen for it. Listen carefully. If you've recently said no to something that everyone else thought was perfect for you, a job, a relationship, a move, but your gut told you it wasn't right, that wasn't fear. That was alignment. That was your higher self intercepting something that would have slowed you down. And if that happened to you, I want you to comment right now, I just knew. Because you're not alone. There's a whole wave of Virgo women waking up, saying no without knowing why. Walking away from things that don't feel right anymore, and they're doing it with zero evidence. Just a deep inner knowing. That's not random. That's initiation. You see, Virgo has always been the sign of service, of structure, of making everything work for everyone. But what if the universe is flipping that script? What if these nights alone aren't about loss, but about unlocking something ancient inside of you? That unease you've been feeling, it's not anxiety. It's your soul moving furniture around in preparation. It's the recalibration of everything you thought you had to be, to become who you actually are. And that process, it doesn't happen in the middle of noise. It happens in the dark, in the quiet, in the middle of the night, when it's just you and the universe. So here's the paradox. No one tells you you're not being left behind. You're being led ahead. This solitude isn't exile. It's elevation. The space in your bed, it's not empty. It's sacred. It's where your next self is being born. And the reason this is happening to you, Virgo, is because you are strong enough to carry the weight of your own becoming. You're being invited into a higher timeline, and the universe doesn't make casual invitations. Only those with the courage to be alone, to trust the unknown, and to listen when no one else is talking. Only they get chosen for this. So don't run from this season. Stay. Watch what happens when you stop seeing your aloneness as a problem and start seeing it as your portal. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. And this is just the beginning. Let's just take a second and talk about what no one really tells you. As women, especially women like you Virgos who care deeply, give endlessly, and hold everything together, we've been conditioned to think that sleeping alone means something's wrong. Society paints this picture that if your bed isn't shared with a partner every night, you've somehow failed. It whispers that maybe you're too much, not enough, or just not lovable anymore. And we carry that weight, even when we know deep down it isn't our truth. But here's the shift I want you to feel in your bones. Sleeping alone is not a sign of absence. It's an invitation. It's the universe giving you space to return to yourself. Without noise, without pressure, without compromise. Because let's be real, when you're constantly surrounded by people, by expectations, by roles, you lose track of your own rhythm. You wake up one day and realize you haven't heard your own voice in weeks. And that's silence at night. That's not emptiness. That's clarity waiting to happen. I know it might not feel like that right away. At first, it's unsettling. You reach across the bed and there's no one there. It feels cold, too quiet. But give it time. That quiet has a rhythm. That stillness, it speaks. It tells you what you actually want, what actually lights you up, who you are when you're not being everything to everyone. Because, Virgo, when you sleep alone, something sacred happens. Your energy stops leaking. You stop adjusting to someone else's mood, movement, breathing. You get to recalibrate. You get to ask, what do I need, not as a partner, a mother, a daughter, but as a woman, as a soul? And when you allow yourself to lean into that solitude, you'll see it's not loneliness. It's power. It's healing. It's space being cleared so something real, aligned, and worthy can enter. Not just a person, but a version of you that's deeply rooted, wildly intuitive, and completely whole. This is your becoming season, Virgo. You're not being punished. You're being refined. So don't rush to fill the space. Don't apologize for the silence. Own it. Fill it with candles and journals and your favorite music. Take up the whole bed. Stretch. Breathe. Laugh out loud at your own thoughts. These are the nights where the real magic starts to rise. And when you look back later, you'll realize this was never about someone leaving. It was always about you finally coming home to yourself. Now, Virgo, let's talk about something most people overlook: how your date of birth within Virgo season reveals exactly what your nights alone are trying to activate in you. This isn't just random. There's something specific unfolding based on when you were born. You might think all Virgos are the same, but energetically, there are 3 very different journeys within this one sign. And your solo nights, they're not just quiet, they're coded. If your birthday falls between August 23rd and September 1st, you belong to the first wave. This group is known for its structured mind and strong sense of duty. But here's the twist: these quiet nights are revealing that you're meant to lead, not just assist. I'm talking about that pull inside you that's been quietly growing, the desire to step up, speak first, take initiative, build something that has your fingerprint on it. You've been so used to making things work behind the scenes that you forgot your If you were born between September 2nd and 12, you're in the second wave. Your soul came here with a powerful blend of analysis and imagination. These nights alone are gently waking up the parts of you that used to dream big, create without overthinking, and feel your way through decisions. Maybe you felt flashes of inspiration painting, writing, dancing, designing something. But then your brain kicks in and says, you don't have time for that, Virgo. That's the lie. These desires don't come up random. Now, if your birthday falls between September 13th and 22, you're in the third wave, the soul of discernment. You've always had a natural wisdom about you, even if people around you didn't recognize it. During these nights, your inner compass is getting sharper. You're starting to sense more clearly what's aligned and what's just noise. Maybe you've begun saying no to things without explaining. Maybe you feel uneasy around people who used to feel fine. That's not you being moody. That's you stepping in. Across all 3 waves, there's one unshakable truth: your solitude is not a mistake. It's not a punishment. It's an upgrade. But upgrades require stillness. If you're always distracting yourself, scrolling, binge watching, staying busy, you'll miss the very signals that are meant to transform your life. This time alone isn't about surviving, it's about hearing what your soul's been trying to say for years. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed that you're more intuitive lately? That you get a gut feeling, and it turns out to be right? Or maybe you're seeing repeated numbers, 11, 11, 2, 22, or hearing the same phrase 3 times in 1 week. That's not random. That's resonance. That's your field syncing up with the messages coming your way. The universe is using your alone time as a tuning fork. So your frequency rises to match your next chapter. Take a moment tonight. Light a candle. Put your hand over your heart. Ask what part of me is waking up right now. Don't rush for an answer. Just ask, then listen, because she's already inside you, the version of you that doesn't need approval, doesn't shrink, doesn't apologize for needing space. She's not arriving someday. She's been waiting in the quiet. And these nights alone, they're her invitation to rise. And when she does, when you finally stop waiting for someone to come save you and realize you were the one all along, that's when the shift happens. That's when your energy becomes undeniable. That's when people start asking what changed in you. That's when new opportunities arrive that match your worth, not your wounds. So don't waste these nights. Don't wish them away. Use them. Honor them. Because Virgo, you're not just healing. You're remembering. And remembering who you really are, that's the beginning of everything. Let's talk about what really happens when you're alone at night. Not just physically alone, but energetically. When there's no one in your space, no partner sharing your bed, no kids crawling in, no background noise from someone else's presence, you return to something pure, something sacred. And Virgo, that purity is where the universe does its best work. During the day, you're constantly responding, emails, errands, emotions, everyone and everything wants a piece of you. And your Virgo heart, so naturally tuned to care and serve, says yes. You adjust, you show up, you give, and that's beautiful. But it also means you rarely get time that's yours, time that's untouched. That's where the nights come in, because when the world gets quiet and your bed is your own again, your energy stops leaking. You're no longer reacting to the needs, moods, or energies of other people. You get to rest not just your body, but your spirit. And that's the reset your soul's been craving. Think of it like this. You can't hear your inner voice if everyone else is still talking. Nightfall gives you back the microphone. And when you're alone, really alone, that's when the guidance starts to come through. You may not even realize it. But those thoughts you've had lately, those random sparks of clarity, those hunches, those moments where something just clicks, that's you downloading truth, not from logic, but from soul. It's in these hours of solitude that your spiritual field clears out, the clutter dissolves, and what's left you, in your rawest, truest form, that's when you start remembering who you were before the roles, before the responsibilities, before the world told you what to be. And I get it, this kind of quiet can feel overwhelming. Some nights might bring up a lump in your throat out of nowhere. You might feel old grief rise up, or question everything all over again. But that's not regression. That's release. Your system is making space, and what fills that space, peace. Not temporary relief, but deep, cellular peace. This is why the universe is gifting you these nights. Not to punish you with loneliness, but to bless you with stillness. So take them, claim them, turn off the distractions, light a candle, sit with yourself, journal, dance, pray, breathe. This is your sacred time, and what you do with it determines the kind of power you're about to step into. Here's something to try before bed. Ask yourself one question. What am I really feeling right now? Don't judge it. Don't fix it. Just notice it. Give it space to exist. Because awareness, Virgo, is your gateway. The more you witness yourself without interruption, the more you heal, and the more you heal, the more your vibration rises. You know, I once heard a woman say the first time she ever felt truly powerful wasn't in a boardroom or in front of an audience. It was one night, lying in bed alone, realizing she didn't feel lonely, she felt whole. And that changed everything. These nights aren't empty. They're full of instructions, full of medicine, full of mirrors. Let them reflect back the strength, the softness, the brilliance that was always there, just waiting for a quiet enough room to speak. So tonight, instead of reaching for your phone or turning on the TV, reach inward. Listen to the stillness. That's where your soul has been waiting to meet you. Let's talk about what's happening beneath the surface, because Virgo, your body, your mind, and your spirit are going through something right now, whether you realize it or not. These nights alone aren't just about emotional growth, they're triggering something much deeper, a full energetic recalibration. Maybe you've been feeling a little off lately. Not bad, necessarily just different, like your appetite has shifted. Your sleep patterns are changing. You feel waves of energy moving through you, sometimes high, sometimes low. You might find yourself tearing up while brushing your teeth, or lying in bed wide awake with thoughts you can't explain. That's not random. That's your system adjusting. You are being rewired from the inside out. You see, Virgo is a sign that often overfunctions, doing, fixing, helping, organizing. You hold space for others, clean up the emotional messes, run the errands, and fill in all the gaps no one else sees. But when you're finally alone and everything gets quiet, your system doesn't know what to do with that pause. At first, it feels unsettling. Your instincts want to fill the space, but the universe is gently saying, no, stop, breathe, receive. As you surrender into that stillness, your nervous system begins to recalibrate. Your hormones start to stabilize. Even your cellular memory, those deep unconscious patterns you've been carrying for years, begins to release what's no longer serving you. This is what true healing feels like. Not always dramatic, not always visible to the outside world, but deeply real and lasting. Let me give you an example. One woman I worked with told me that for weeks after her husband moved out, she couldn't sleep through the night. She felt restless, out of place, like her body didn't belong to her. But as the nights passed, she stopped resisting the quiet. She created a small ritual, lighting incense, stretching, writing down her thoughts, and slowly, the restlessness faded. She didn't just find peace, she found power. She started waking up with ideas, clarity, even a desire to reinvent her care. This transformation is especially powerful because it's not coming from outside. It's not because someone finally told you that you're enough, or you hit some external milestone. It's coming from within. Your own body is remembering how to hold peace, how to self-soothe, how to exist without constantly reacting to the world around you. And here's the thing, when you let yourself fully experience this phase, you build something permanent. You start forming an internal foundation that doesn't shake every time life does. You become steady, and that steadiness, it changes everything. People will feel it when you walk into a room. They'll ask what you've been doing differently, but it's not something you can explain in a sentence. It's something you've lived through, something you've earned. So Virgo, if you're feeling different right now, more sensitive, more tired, more reflective, that's okay. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. This is your becoming season. And every part of you, mind, body, and soul, is finally syncing up to become the woman you were always meant to be. Let's get real for a second, this chapter of your life. These nights you've been spending alone, they won't last forever. And that's not meant to scare you. It's a reminder, a sacred one, because what you're living through right now, this rare stretch of solitude, is temporary. One day, someone may be sleeping beside you again. One day, your house may be filled with voices, movement, connection. And while that may sound beautiful, and it is, you'll never get this kind of space back. That's why the universe is warning you, don't waste this season. Right now, you have uninterrupted access to yourself. No distractions, no negotiations, no energy bleed. And that clarity, Virgo, is gold. But it only lasts if you use it. If you treat these nights like they're just something to survive, you'll miss the very thing they're trying to give you. These are not filler moments. They are formation moments. I want you to imagine looking back at this period a year from now. Will you be proud of what you did with it? Did you build something? Did you plant seeds? Did you listen when the world got quiet? Or did you numb out, fast forward through the discomfort, and wake up unchanged? This isn't about guilt. This is about awareness. Because you still have time, the door is still open. So what can you do now to honor this space? Start with your senses. Make your nights intentional. Instead of falling asleep to background noise, play music that heals. Burn incense or essential oils that ground you. Write down your dreams. Track your mood. Ask yourself questions like, what am I longing for? And then ask, can I give that to myself? These simple acts, they turn empty space into sacred ground. They shift your energy. They make you magnetic. And here's the paradox. The more complete you become on your own, the more likely it is that someone worthy of you will show up. Not because you need them, but because your energy no longer tolerates the ones who drain you. When you stop chasing connection out of fear and start choosing it from wholeness, everything changes. Let me tell you a little story. A Virgo woman I once spoke to had just come out of a 10-year relationship. The silence at night used to terrify her. She would leave the TV on just to avoid hearing her own thoughts. But one evening, something shifted. She sat with the silence. She let herself cry. She journaled about what she missed, but also about what she never wanted to feel again. Within a few weeks, her energy was different. She didn't need to fill the space anymore. And one morning, she woke up with, that's what happens when you lean in instead of running away. So Virgo, this is your moment. Don't underestimate the power of this quiet phase. It's not a pause. It's a portal. And once you walk through it, once life picks up again, once people return or new chapters begin, you'll want to know, deep down, that you didn't waste your sacred alone time wishing it away. You claimed it. You lived it. You let it shape you. And because of that, the next chapter won't feel like a rescue mission. It'll feel like alignment. So use tonight. Not someday. Tonight. Even if just for 5 minutes. Sit with yourself. Thank the silence. It's doing more for your future than you can imagine. Let's talk about what's next. Because Virgo, after everything you've been through, after all the quiet nights, all the inner shifts, all the moments where you faced yourself in the dark, something new is being born. And it's not just a better version of your old self. It's a whole new frequency, a whole new way of living. You're not the same person who lay down in bed a few months ago, wondering if being alone meant something was wrong. Now, you know better. You know this season wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You've peeled away the layers of people-pleasing, overgiving, doubting your worth. You've faced silence and found strength. You've sat with your own emotions instead of numbing them away. That kind of courage, it changes a person from the inside out. And because of that, your energy is different now. People around you might not be able to name it, but they feel it. It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak with more clarity, the way you no longer explain your boundaries, you just hold them. That energy, that's magnetic. That's what draws in opportunities, connections, and yes, even love that actually matches your new frequency. You're not attracting from lack anymore. You're attracting from alignment, and that matters because when you're whole on your own, you stop settling for half-hearted love. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. You stop being afraid of being alone because now you know solitude was your greatest teacher. You carry that truth in your posture, in your presence, in your peace. From here forward, everything shifts. decisions become clearer. Your intuition speaks louder. The things you once tolerated, they no longer fit. And instead of forcing or chasing, you start choosing intentionally, confidently, unapologetically. You may even start inspiring others without trying. A friend might ask how you became so calm. A coworker might notice your glow. Even family members who once drained you may start respecting your space because they sense that something in you is different now. And they're right, because the woman who emerged from these nights alone is not here to go back to who she was. She's here to lead, to love with depth, to live with purpose. So take a moment and honor that you didn't just survive a hard chapter, you transformed through it, and that transformation, it's permanent. But it's also just the beginning. Let this be the season where you step into relationships from choice, not from fear. Where you walk into rooms not hoping to be seen, but radiating so brightly you light the room just by being in it. Where you wake up in the morning not asking what others need from you, but what you need from yourself first. So let me ask you something. Who are you now that you've stopped waiting to be saved? Who are you now that you've stopped needing validation to feel worthy? Who are you now that the silence doesn't scare you but grounds you? These are the questions that shape your future, and they deserve answers. So take one last breath tonight as the woman you were, and wake up tomorrow as the woman who finally remembers just how powerful she's always been. Your journey is only just beginning, Virgo. And the best part now, you're fully awake for it. And before you close this video, I want you to really pause, breathe, feel the space around you. This silence you're in right now, it's not empty. It's intelligent. It's listening. Because when a Virgo receives a sleep alone warning, the universe doesn't whisper for fun. It speaks with precision. You've already come this far. You've faced the dark, held your own heart, and chosen to hear the truth others ignore. That means you're ready for what's next. So don't rush to distraction. Stay with this energy. Let it keep unfolding through your night. And if you're still unsure whether this Virgo sleep alone warning was meant for you, ask for confirmation. Before you sleep tonight, simply say out loud, "Show me the next sign." Then watch what appears. A number, a dream, a sentence from a stranger. The universe always follows through when Virgo listens.